The ooni of Ife has made a very deep confession that is meant to destabilize everybody in the palace, especially Olori Naomi. Yes, the ooni of Ife has actually come up with a very deep confession that even Olori Naomi herself needs to actually be very strong before she can actually assimilate, understand, or carry on with what she heard. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to D&Z TV. D&Z TV is the #1 platform where we give you up-to-date information of everything happening in the palace of the Ooni of Ife, and especially also as it contains the entertainment industry. So, if you've not subscribed to our channel, we urge you right now to click on the subscription button, comment, like, and share our videos as we continue to give you more up-to-date gist of everything happening in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. So right about now, the Ooni has actually come openly to tell everybody that a seer, yes, you understand who a seer now is now? A seer are all those people who normally see things and tell you how things are going to happen. God has given them the spirit of understanding. God has given them the spirit of wisdom. God has given them the spirit of foresight, where they tend to see things before they happen. So now, this particular seer has come up openly to tell Ooni, and Ooni now in turn now came out openly to tell everybody who cares to listen that he has been mandated, as tradition demands, that he has the right to marry more wives. He had to say that in capital letter, that he has the right to marry more wives. So anybody who is not ready to live with his new status, what the person should do is to make sure the person japa. That whether they like it or yes, the God has already designed and made him by tradition. Because the truth about the matter is, if he does not marry more wives, he will be tempted to go out there and now begin to get involved with strange women. But if he now marries from the house, then totally it just means that he is acting in his own space. He is acting in his own level. He is acting in his own dimension. So it does not matter how tough, it does not matter how difficult, it does not matter how derogatory people will begin to look at the Ooni. What they should understand, what they should remember, what they should know is that this is tradition. And since it is tradition, tradition must be held to the latter. It is not like this different dimension where people always do not have what to say, and when they want, even when they want to say it, they are always in some very shady environment. No. Tradition has so made it strong that you, as a matter of fact, need to obey set instructions that have been kept for generations unborn. People differently have had different levels, different dimensions of how they look at things. But now, with the fact that we are now in a new age, we are now in a new era, this era that they call Gen Z era. Gen Z era now brings a level of freedom. You know, initially before now, it was the era of faith. Faith now is the substance of things hoped for, things that you're envisaging, things that you're expecting. But now in this Gen Z age, we are in the era of knowledge, where people want to believe what they see. They don't want to believe what is to come. They just want to see it that, okay, this is black, it is black. This is white, it is white. This is red, it is red. That is exactly what people are wanting to see right now. Gone are the days when people will always want to remain very indifferent of how things are being done. People want to remain indifferent. People want to see things from a different perspective. People want to see things from a different light. People cannot really tell that, okay, this is how this one is, this is how this one is. No. Right now, people are now being in the era of awareness, in the era of knowledge, in the era of information. With what is happening in the AI world now, a lot seems to be happening. So the ooni is not going to be held accountable to the whims and caprices of how these people are looking at things, because the people are looking at things from a very different angle and very different dimension. And if you want to put that into cognizance, you will understand and bear with me that it is going to be very, very difficult. In fact, it's going to be a very Herculean task for them to come out of this imagination. So, as a matter of fact, the ooni needs to explain to whoever that cares to listen that he is His Imperial Majesty, and whatever he says stands. So for this great seer to actually come openly and explain some certain things to us, we should, as a matter of necessity, pay attention and listen. Pay attention, listen to what this seer has to say. Because by so doing, the seer has actually been able to exonerate herself. Because where it could have been a problem against her is if she saw something and didn't say something, then she will be held responsible. But now, for the mere fact that he saw something and says it, then as a matter of fact, she has actually set her own self free. Free from any attack, free from any indifference, free from anything that could cause obstruction and challenge to his well-being. And we all know that the ooni's position now, being a traditional ruler, he has the right, he has the temerity to do things right. Because if he doesn't do things right, the gods are actually going to hold him responsible. The gods, as a matter of fact, the gods are actually not going to be with us physically. But what the gods are going to do is that they are going to send people who will be as their representative. And if you must understand, the ooni right now is a representative of God. And if the ooni is now a representative of God, then the best thing we could do is to make sure that we believe him in everything he does. This, as a matter of fact, is a new level and dimension everybody needs to operate on. For those people who still doubt, for those people who still do not have thorough understanding of how things are done, it is very, very wrong for us to take the ooni for granted.